Trump has never negotiated something this complex, and he certainly never asked Putin to give something back, to give back occupied territory and negotiate a ceasefire. Where do you put the odds of being able to convince Putin to do that after all of this very public pomp and circumstance in his honor?
I think the odds are probably 1 out of 100 at best. There is no way Vladimir Putin is going to give up the territory that he has gained in Ukraine willingly. This is not something that is in his personality to be able to just withdraw and to acknowledge publicly that he made a mistake. Again, Donald Trump, who believes he's the world's best negotiator, that's why I think he realizes that this is something way, way beyond his ability to even influence in a very positive direction. So what's going to happen in these meetings, I don't know. I hope that Donald Trump stays strong, pushes for a ceasefire across the board, not just an air ceasefire, but on the battlefield, freeze that so we can stop some of this suffering. But I really don't see Vladimir Putin reneging or pulling out of the territory that he's in now. But I would second a nomination for a Nobel Peace Prize of Hillary Clinton for Donald Trump if, in fact, that happens. But I see the chances of that being next to zero.
What are you thinking if you're President Zelensky today to have been excluded from today's meeting?
I think President Zelensky feels good that his European partners are staying strong with him. That strength of the European coalition, I think, is critically important to send the signal to Donald Trump that the Ukrainians and the Europeans are going to continue this fight, almost with or without the United States. And also, I think Donald Trump recognizes that Zelensky has a fair amount of support still here in the United States, including within the Republican caucus. And that's why Donald Trump doesn't hold all the cards that he would like to hold at this point. He's navigating some difficult political shoals here in the United States on a number of fronts, but also internationally. I think he recognizes that his ability to really change the trajectory of this conflict is limited. And therefore, Vladimir Putin, I think, has the stronger hand, not only because he is far more experienced and far more knowledgeable about, the region, the history of the conflict, and so on. Donald Trump, I think, recognizes he's out of his element here, and that's why I do think he's a bit worried. But he will still try to put as much, lipstick on the proverbial pig as possible, and sending a signal that this was a very productive and successful meeting. Probably going to announce a second meeting and follow up that there is going to be serious work done. But again, this is part of Donald Trump kicking the can down the road as he is apt to do.
Director John Brennan, thank you for starting us off this hour and for your analysis and wisdom. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Nicole.
Ali, let me bring you in. I think all the time about your reporting in Bucha. I think all the time about John Kirby, who was Pentagon spokesperson.
Sure.
I interviewed him. We've all had the privilege of interviewing him. Moved to tears after sort of seeing and learning about that, probably ahead of even some of us. And I think all the time about just at a human level, how do you sit across from someone who's tortured and murdered civilians, ushered in so much heartache, and how do you do it with such glee? I mean, Donald